Hey, beautiful people. Let's talk a little bit about the new model that we're currently working on. So I just want to be clear about something. You don't need to take sales calls in order to get clients. 14 months ago, I decided to completely stop taking sales calls for my consulting business. And the results literally blew me away. And over the past 8 months, I have now made consistently $80,000 a month of monthly recurring revenue, which means I've made more money in the past 8 months that I had done in the previous years as a done-for-you consultant, which honestly, it's wild if you think about it. Considering I was absolutely overworked and barely took home $20,000 by the time I paid my entire team. Now, you want to know the crazy thing? I did it on my own. No sales team, no appointment setters, no sales closers, no sales calls. I let my entire team go and I just kept Cass, my VA, which means I operate my business now at a profit margin that flows anything between 80 to 95% profit. This is a unique business designed for simplicity, freedom, and profit. So I'm going to explain to you exactly how I did it so you can build a new solo business yourself. Now, there's a simple formula for this model, but if you're looking for a get-rich-quick scheme, unfortunately, this is not one of them because it takes time and a lot of hard work. Because although this is simple, it takes time to build, but once it's built, you will have fun with it. It will also go evergreen and it will give you an extreme impact business that makes you feel like you're living the life that you deserve. Look, if you're anything like me, there's just a few simple things you're looking for. You don't want to spend all your time managing big systems, complex systems, and a large team that it's eating your profit margin. Instead, you want to grow your business in a way that feels effortless and easy. And you also don't want to work with clients that suck the living daylight out of it either. So instead, you want to work with only the top 1% of clientele in your market, pre-sold leads basically, who send you 2 simple messages. The first thing is, I'm in, and the second message is, I just pay for the invoice. When do I start? You don't want to be another average player in your market, a middle of the pack just getting by. You want to be a leader in your market. Everyone wants to work with because you built a brand and business that is authentically and unapologetically. But most importantly, you want to look forward to it every morning because your diary is empty and you have to do just a few things every day and the rest of your calendar is pretty much free where you can do whatever you want. And so here's the deal. If you want to do this, you're going to have to play a new game. And let's go through the steps. So the new rules is stop doing what everybody else is doing. Otherwise, we are going to get left behind. And then you have the AI revolution, which is also going to eliminate the average player. This is brutal, I know, but really think about it. I believe there's going to be a wall gap formed and you're either going to have access to it, to the new opportunities, or you're going to be left behind completely. The good thing is, here is the biggest opportunity of your generation. We're still in the first season of the creator economy, as we call it. Now, the first season is coming to a close very soon. That's what I believe, and I think AI is going to shut the door on a lot of opportunities. But a creator economy still forecast to approach around $500 billion by 2027. And you have guys like Gary Vee. He's been talking about this for years. You might like it, you might not like it, but he has a very good point. Attention is the number one asset. That's his famous catchphrase that he starts at every single video. Then there are guys, let's say like Dan Coe and Alex Hormozi, who just on their own can make, I think Dan Coe on their own just made $4.2 million. And obviously there's too many others to mention. And there are also a couple of girls, so it's not necessarily all a boys club. You've got Layla Hormozi, Sanchez, and a few others. Now, these people are able to make insane amount of money compared to those big brands, as we know them, who have hundreds, if not thousands of members of staff. And it got me thinking, What are those guys doing differently? So here is what is going on right now. Consumer trust has dropped by 20% in just the past couple of years. You can see it here, you can see it everywhere. It's been okay, then it got average, and then it just got really bad. It's plummeting right now, and if you want to survive and thrive in the next era of online businesses, there are new rules that you have to play by. So here's the new model. Online businesses have entered a new era. Trust is plummeted, consumers are more wary than ever, and they're bored of the same thing. Webinar funnels, webinar book funnels, upsell, downsell, cross-sell, value ladders, all that jazz that it's done and dusted. People are just quite frankly a little bit over it. And what I realize is that these guys are using different type of models. They're using their ideas and philosophy as their own personal brand instead of what previously has been getting done by using the traditional funnels. So here is why funnels differ from your ideas and philosophy if you bring it in as a personal brand. These leads don't trust anymore, then going from cold lead to client is now super difficult to achieve. That's why this model, the funnel model, is based on loads of cold traffic. Trying to reach the cold leads and ad costs are soaring. If you're running ads, you probably would have seen it, you're aware of it. That makes it really challenging. And this is based on sales-based conversions, okay? Now, your ideas and philosophy are very different. They store energy and they compound over time. They rely on lead efficiency and a smaller audience. It's about being more efficient with the leads that you already have, the audience that you already have, rather than just getting loads and loads of new ones, okay? So no cold leads, no complex funnels, no sales teams, or copy my content system that has just made hundreds of millions of dollars, etc. This doesn't work. I'm sure you're starting to see the shift. And it's a beautiful thing to see. But okay, you're probably thinking, Claudia, that sounds really cool. I don't have the following like Gary Vee or Dan Coe or Alex Hormozi. Yes, it's true. And maybe you're thinking it will never work for me, but I'm here to tell you this isn't the case. So the good news is there is a formula for this. And the formula that these guys will use, and it's the exact same formula that allowed me to make consistently $80,000 a month without working myself to the ground. Even when my entire social media account got hacked and I lost all my followers and my email subscribers and all my social media platform, I was able to create this with no sales team, no sales calls, and more importantly, I grew back to where I wanted to be with zero stress. First, we have to decide to play a different game. And this is the difference between what I call a show business and a lifestyle business, which is what I do now. So in show business, they're all about business first. In our business, we're about lifestyle first. Show business are always about revenue. We're about profit. Show business builders are all about sales-based conversions. We're all about marketing-based conversions. Show business are all about complex offers. We're about one hybrid offer. Show business builders are always just trying to get many clients in as possible. For them, it's just a numbers game. We cap our access. Show business builders are always looking at lead volume. We're about being more efficient with the leads that we already have. Show business builders, they love the packed calendar. They love Zoom calls and they love their lifestyle. We just have an open calendar. Show business builders, they push selling. It feels like, hey, bro, let's go and do this. Let's go and smash it. Lifestyle entrepreneurs, we're all about magnetic marketing. We're just saying, hey, we're here, we're doing this. We live our world with no drama, no stress. Would you like to join us? Show business builders are always hunting. We're always fed. Show business builders are always stuck. Lifestyle entrepreneurs are free. You need some clear outcomes and milestones for your clients. For us, what do? We just have a simple We're going to help you to get your next 20K or 20K month income goal, and what we're going to do and what we have done, and we just gamify the experience. And this is what I recommend you do with your clients. We have levels for people to aim at, and what this does, it makes us a bit more fun, and people get results, and people also love to have some fun. Their life is too serious. They don't want to take their life too seriously. At the end of the day, they need to be able to enjoy what they do. Next, you need your signature system, okay? And this is going to be the core client offer that you're going to take to the market. And we base this around the 4 Ps. So you have one person that solves one problem with one plan to get to the promise. For example, mine is I help high-ticket creators scale to the next 20K monthly goal with one simple hybrid offer, so they never have to rely on sales calls ever again. So what we do is we take all our knowledge, we package this into a signature system that helps our perfect future client get rid of all the headaches and enter a realm of the desired reality. That's all I have done, and that's all you have to do too. Next, we have to buy timeline. And now this is the big idea that I want you to get in your heads. So the big idea is out of 100 leads, half of them are never going to buy from you. The other half is you don't know when they're going to buy from you. So it could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be next month, it could be in 2 years' time. So what we want is we just want to be there for them. Maybe it's now or when the time is right. So we just want to be there. So what we do is we just basically make them a very small offer, much smaller than what we call a high ticket offer. You might want to invite them to a 60 to 90 minute mini event, like a workshop, packed with insights and value. After the live event, we ask them to invest in us, depending on the offer at the time. So here is one of the fundamental differences when we are sending people to become clients from people who they don't know who we are. This is the difference between what I call a sales-based conversion and a marketing-based conversion. So traditional funnels require your audience to make a giant trust leap to become a high-ticket client. This is the difference between what I call a sales-based conversion and a marketing-based conversion. So traditional funnels require your audience to make a giant trust leap to become a high-ticket client. So what we do is we break down those trust gaps in marketing-based conversions with us demonstrating our method and how it works. And we make them a smaller offer, much smaller. It's a much smaller jump into trust. So instead of going from a stranger to a lead and a lead to a high-ticket client, what we do is we break that out. We take someone from a stranger into a follower. We then turn them into a lead. We then turn them into a customer. And then eventually we turn them into a client with a trust transaction. So they actually pay us money, and that's when we offer them to help them and for them to become a high-ticket client. What we have in our world, it's really a very simple idea. It's an insight to get people from not knowing you, who you are, into becoming case studies, which are, in fact, the most valuable part of your offer. So what we do is we help people understand how we are and what we do by putting out a big idea into the market. So for me, for example, my idea is that I don't need to have sales calls to grow and scale an online educational business. I put out lead magnets. I get people to subscribe to my newsletter. I'm talking about some ideas that might be relevant at the time. We then get people to become customers, but doing what I call a demonstration offer. And in our world, what we do is we simply give people access to our private workshops that we have for our existing clients. And we give them a ticket. It's like a daily pass. I'm going to do the workshop for my clients anyway. So we invite people to attend the event for the day. And so a couple of examples. I do 2 workshops a month. Things that I'm going to do for my clients anyway, which is a little crazy if you think about it, because you can actually generate extra revenue by selling tickets to your workshops. And what this does, it gives people a peek behind closed doors. And what we then do is we just make an offer to those people and we ask them if they want to become a full-time client. They see what we're doing behind closed doors, they see what they're going to get, and a portion of them will then ascend to becoming a paying client. The beauty of this model is that it's so simple. What we do, we get new eyeballs on the stuff that we're really doing short content from. My preference is either Facebook or X, Threads, and now even YouTube. I simply write an email a day and then I just cut and paste across social. That's the simple suggestion that I have, and it works really well for people just going all in. If you want to just focus on one short platform, please do. I do them all across because I really don't know where my audience is gathering. So I write an email a day and then I just cut and paste and distribute it all across my social media platform. What we do then is we have a lead magnet. And for me, the lead magnet, my main lead magnet is my Skool Community, where I get a bunch of free resources. They sign up, I get their email addresses, and then I focus on prospecting that lead. That's where I keep all my free resources. And the key is to get that into my community. Now, the community isn't my Skool community. This is just a group, right? Skool is just a platform. My community is my email list. That's how we define my community in our model. And what we want to do is to get people to come over the long form content. We'll talk about that in a second, but now this is really just a preference, okay? You choose which you prefer to post as your main channel. For me, it's Facebook and YouTube. And that's because I can consume more YouTube videos than, let's say, podcast. And majority of my clients come from Facebook. For some of you, it might be more of a podcast kind of style, but it's entirely up to you, okay? I'm not going to tell you which platform is better. They're all good as long as you're consistent inside those platforms. So you're just basically going to repost the content, let's say on YouTube channel, then you're going to do your podcast or Facebook, vice versa, and so on. It's just a very different distribution channel, a free distribution channel for the same content. And you give people the opportunity to choose what is their preference, because you don't know whether they like to build the relationship with you. Now, so here's the fun part, because you guys probably think, this sounds really great. Claudia, do you have a magic formula that is managing to close people into DM and through emails without a single sales call? And the truth is, because I've done this part really well, which is converting them into becoming a client, become quite a simple process. So I just have an offer that I put in a very simple document. Then I send to people and say, hey, this is what I do. This is how I can help you. There is the time limit. This is the price. Here are the instructions if you want to join. It's really that simple. Now, the next step is, how are we going to deliver the services that we promised to our audience? The key here is that you need to create constraints around how you want to spend your time. So what do you do when you get clients that want to sign up to your services? So you want to have the same promise, but just a very different level of access, okay? And so what I call this is the access stack to you. What you need to understand is that you just want to give people choices, and how much access they want is really that simple. So the way I have it is that I have 3 resources, all located inside the Skool group, and then I have my paid offers in separate groups. And that's really it. So I'm just giving people different accessibility to me, depending on their needs or demand. Okay. So for everything that I have, which I don't see many people do, and I don't know why they don't do it. They have all different kind of groups, they have all kind of different offers, and it just really makes things exhausting for yourself and also for your audience. I think it's dumb that people have multiple Skool groups, to be honest, or to Facebook or whatever. So really, it's one place. I keep everything in there, in the same place. Then what I do is I sell my skills and my services at 3 different levels. And I also have access to one-on-one also. The difference is the one-on-one, of course, they get one-on-one time with me, meaning some people just don't like group coaching. They just want you all to yourself. So therefore, I'll just hop on a call once a week and we work together on what their goal might be at that time. Now, group mentorship is, of course, group mentorship, you just give people different accessibility to you. They don't get calls with me, but they get me live once a week. They can ask me any questions and we work together inside a community. This is absolutely incredible for most people, okay? And, that's all they need. For some people who have specific needs, they will go on for one-on-one and the spots are limited because, you can only serve so many people. Let's say 3 or 4 clients max a month because they literally take most of your time. So this is an incredible scalable offer. So when it comes to actually delivering, this is what my calendar looks like. zero sales calls or activities. Mondays and Fridays, I don't work. I only work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days a week, 3 hours a day. And, the rest of it is free for me to reinvest my energy into marketing and spending quality time with my clients, or putting time and energy into new workshops that I usually do twice a month, or even creating content rather than me being on sales calls. I'm making content and I'm putting my energy into much more leverage way of selling. Basically I'm selling me, I'm the niche. So next, you need to build a micro cold audience. You want people to feel like you're a character, somebody who is a leader with their world. That's what we're going to do. And this is the secret of being able to sell without sales calls. You want to build authenticity, which is found at the middle of building a world with your content, talking about your identity and then giving an inspirational identity for people to work towards. Then putting out there is a unique mechanism that is different to what other people do. So for example, for me, the identity for me is being a lifestyle entrepreneur rather than a show business builder. And my mechanism are my philosophy and my insight over funnels. That's really it. That's me. This is exactly the example of me and my world. It's all the information that I give away in my content that shows people deeply who I am. That's why occasionally I'll do live events, I'll do vlogging, I'll do content. I'll take a little bit about the new ideas around stuff and give people the opportunity to really feel like they know me. Now, there is a blueprint of this, and there are really 3 major steps. You want to get people to know about your world, how your world is set up, the set, the characters, the pieces that you go into, like your locations, and then you want to talk about your conviction. So this is how you get people results with unique mechanism. Next, you get stories to tell. So this is talking about your journey and your results, how you have gone through your personal journey, and then ultimately you will talk about your transformation, which is your proof, and giving people an opportunity to aim towards a specific aspirational identity. You almost become a little bit of a protagonist. So for example, I kind of tell a story about how I got hacked, how I dismantled everything and I started a new business, and how I'm tracking. It's because I'm building inside an audience. I don't feel scared of failing. It's almost like a game. So people kind of tend to follow those kind of characters because they're somehow inspirational. So look at the components you're going to create as a micro cold audience. And look, this stuff works. Most of my clients don't have a massive following. They only have a small amount of email subscribers. And if you're using YouTube, like the algorithm is getting small audiences, huge numbers of opportunities to give views. So this is the best time that has ever been to start building a micro cold audience on YouTube. Now, once you are started, you need to not stop, and you need to not stop giving away so much value, but at the same time, just be super careful. You don't give everything away, including the kitchen sink, okay? Now, if you want to do what all those guys are doing out there, you will have built a goodwill bank account. And that's because it's one of the laws of influence. But of course, there is a way to know what to give without parting away with all your ideas, with all your insights. So that's the game plan here. That's exactly what I did last year when I got hacked, which is just a reminder that you don't build on somebody else's platform. And once you build that, people will feel like, they want to binge your content when they find you. It's just a little bit like a Netflix series, really. If you think about it, they're looking forward to hear back from you next day or the next week. That's when you know you've done it well, because you might start getting messages from people saying, hey, I just binged your content. Now, how do you do this? So here's a problem with modern day algorithm. And this is something that means that you have to pay by the rules, which are changing right now. Now, the problem with the algorithm is it only shows your content to a proportion of your audience. What I do, I use a small amount of my revenue and I reinvest, let's say 10% of that cash that I bring into my business. I put it back into paid advertising to get my stuff seen by my existing audience. Now, this is really the key. I'm not just amplifying it to just get fresh call traffic, okay? I'm pushing my stuff back out to the people that are in my audience and already know my face, have seen my face before. And this is why, because typically half of your content is getting seen by your existing followers, half of it by non-followers. This means half of the people that follow you are not seeing your content. So what I do is I cheat the system a little bit, so to speak. I use a code which is designed to amplify ads back to the people in my audience. So that's exactly what I do. I take my best performing organic content and invest 10% of my cash back into warm retargeting so that people in my audience see my face. So if you do this right, you can really get paid ads to just crush beyond belief for you. This is very important because people mess this up all the time. All this time spending on ads to complete cold traffic. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you do. They don't know you from a bar or soap. Therefore, most likely they will click onto your ad and they will keep scrolling. So recently there's also that TikTok saga. A lot of people have lost their revenue and their accounts and they got completely wiped out. I also got hacked and I lost everything. That's because I was building a business on rented land. There is a way to not do that, and this is it. By building your email list, which is the only asset that you truly own in your business. This should be a huge focus, and it needs to be the engine of your lifestyle business. And the cool thing is, my system builds it for me. I had made big mistakes in the past over the years, but since I implemented this new strategy, I decided to completely stop taking sales calls. My emails pretty much do almost all my selling for me. Around 70% of my sales come through emails. Just think about that for a second. I hope this helps give you some clarity at the end. I hope this will also encourage you to reach out to me and see how I can help you implement those exact steps to give you the first 20K or perhaps to improve your profit. So you can probably stop doing the same thing over and over again and asking yourself, why isn't my business growing? Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon. Bye.